Hello and welcome to GPTV on Tuesday the 11th of June. I'm Gary Peer.
And I'm Nikki Janover.
You are indeed Nikki Janover, and what a pleasure it is to have you on. I'm usually looking over here with some trepidation because it's usually Philip who's going to give me a hard time about my
usually
eyebrows,
a male.
on my hair. Well, it's usually Philip, it's that male.
Yeah.
And, gee, does he give me a hard time? But in his absence, I'm very happy to give him a hard time. So whilst we're working, keeping the home fires burning, keeping the team paid, the power on, the water running. He's just off gallivanting around the world. So look, it's good to be Philip Kiss, isn't it?
Good for him.
Yeah, exactly.
And I won't be giving you a hard time today.
No, well,
I've got no interest in doing that.
Good. Well, that's it. Well, let's just make this a permanent seat.
Yes.
And we'll call it, instead of GP, we'll call it GNTV instead of Gary Phil.
That sounds
We'll call
perfect.
it GN and Philip. It's been nice, but see you later.
Bye,
Anyway,
Philip.
yeah, see you later. It's been lovely. Well, thanks, Nikki, for coming on board. Nikki,
Pleasure. Thanks for
Nikki's
having
just
me.
a new person in the company. She's only just started. She's doing a
Yeah.
probationary period. How long's it been now?
Oh, about 23 years.
23 years. So
But
we're
it
just
feels
getting,
like I'm new.
it's we are just getting to know each other, now. But Nikki is one of the few people that I shamelessly went and actually just said, "You've just got to come and work here." So it wasn't, it was a little bit of what do you call it when you go and approach somebody? Anyway,
Headhunting?
bit of a headhunting job.
Yeah.
But look, it was a long time ago, and the company's since no longer that you worked for, so I don't feel
Yeah.
guilty. I've got over it.
Remember we met in secret?
We did. We had
did.
We had our little secret meeting, didn't we?
I didn't want to get sprung.
No, you didn't want to get sprung, so we went into a little back room in a cafe
Yeah.
off the beaten track, and I said, "I think we'd do all right together," and you
Yeah.
thought maybe we will. So
You didn't have to twist my arm, that's for
no,
sure.
I know. I didn't have to lock the door and take your car keys before you
No.
making you sign before you left there. But it's been a good 23 years.
It's been amazing.
And you've spent a lot of those years in, of course, the Caulfield office,
Yeah.
which you would have moved around a bit as we expanded
Yeah.
that. And you think back to all those old days when there was, you, me, Philip, Darren Krongold.
We had a sales meeting in a small boardroom.
We had a sales meeting in a small boardroom.
Yeah.
Darren was there, Sally was there, small boardroom, round table. Now we've got this, we meet at the NRC, our big centre on Balaclava Road.
Pushing towards 50 people.
Pushing towards 50 people. But Nikki, you have certainly maintained your place on the team and grown it and become a partner in the business. So congratulations on your partnership.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And great to have you just doing so incredibly well. And Nikki has a huge following. People that deal with Nikki once will never deal with anybody else again. She seems to just be able to have that influence on people. So thank you
Thank
for
you very
all the happy
much.
years that we've had together. It's good to have
thank
you on there.
you. It's been incredible.
Over that time, you would have, there'd be a million real estate stories. We've had a lot of fun, a lot of laughs, some at your expense and some at our
It's
expense.
a lot at my expense, even today. But that's okay.
Even today. But, you take that with a grain of salt because that is the sort of DNA of our business. We
I'm
all
used to it now.
have the ability of laughing at ourselves. And I
Yeah.
think that's an important, a very, very important trait for us all to have because let's face it, life's too short and we
Exactly.
all have our idiosyncrasies that we like to have fun at each other's expense. But, in that time, you've sold a lot of different properties, a lot of different price ranges. And I guess, one of the things that I've found is that there's really no absolute specialty. You are a residential property specialist, but, you've seemed to be selling stuff from small apartments to
Yeah.
high luxury homes.
Yeah, I just think that, any property that gets sold is worth its weight in gold. We're talking about, whether it's a one-bedroom apartment or a multi-million-dollar house, it's someone's greatest asset.
Absolutely.
And it's an honour and privilege to be able to, to facilitate something that like that and be entrusted,
Absolutely, with
with the
someone's greatest
business.
asset, no matter what value it is.
Absolutely.
And I know we work on a lot of stuff together. We work on the small apartments. So you've just handled something in St Kilda we worked on together. Charnwood Road, which went really well. We've just sold an apartment in Milton Street. We've now got a beautiful luxury apartment, which we'll talk about in Blenheim Street.
That's
but
incredible.
it wasn't so long ago. You've sold houses in $4 and $5 million
Yeah,
as
of
well.
course.
Marara Road, those two houses opposite
Yeah.
the park was almost $4 million of
Yeah.
sales there. So it's great when you've when you've got the breadth of experience that you've got to just be able to offer your service and expertise across a wide range of
definitely.
product types and price ranges. It certainly makes you a very complete agent. You've also got a good team around you now. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, so I've got an incredible team now. So I've got Jackie, who's my campaign coordinator, who basically, she's my neck. She runs my business.
Yes.
Takes all the admin away from me, which I wouldn't have a clue how to do anyway. But
Most good salespeople, for those that are watching that don't know, most good salespeople are a disaster when it comes to
Yeah.
organisation.
That's me.
Because we all just run at 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
We're all just burning through the day, trying to make sure that we can offer great service to our clients, making sure we
Yeah.
know what we're talking about. And that's a full-time job in itself. So, so much of the detail is so important to get picked up. And Jackie does an amazing job of
Jackie
that.
does an incredible job, and I don't even have to think, which
Yep.
is amazing.
Yep.
And then Jessica, who's a recent recruit, who works in the sales arena with me, has just been amazing. She just got, in the last couple of weeks, she just listed her first house.
Yeah, well done to
She also
Jessica.
sold, she actually sold one of our colleagues' properties as well, introduced a buyer and nurtured them all the way through, and they ended up buying at auction, I think, Joel's property in Hudson Street.
Yes.
So she's incredibly talented. She also takes the load off me as well, and I think she's going to do great things for our business.
And it's one of the ways, one of the pillars of how our business has grown and developed, you know, with our leading people, whether it's, you know, one of the agents that have gone and opened up their own offices, or whether it's one of the super teams within one of our offices. And Nikki, of course, works out of the St Kilda office together with Jeremy Rosens and Lamore, and you know, Daniel McMucker, Matt Morley, you know, talking about hundreds of years of experience with all of the agents there, some really serious heavy hitters that are, you know, absolute real estate icons, really, hugely experienced and successful. So you're in an environment which has just full of great talent, and there's some fantastic emerging talent coming through.
I think we've got the best talent we've seen ever in the history of the company, which is really exciting just to see what's going to happen. But you know, everyone wants to work here because we're one big family, really.
We are one big dysfunctional though happy family.
Dysfunctional, happy family,
Yep.
and we're always together. We're together at work. We're together outside of work. In fact, we're going to be together tomorrow night.
We are indeed.
And you know, he's my family. You know, Gary and Philip are family.
Likewise, thank you.
And I couldn't be luckier.
It does work well. We appreciate that. I didn't put you up for that, by the way, but thank you for sharing that with
but
me.
it's the truth. And
we couldn't be luckier either.
And that's why people stay so long.
Well, they do stay a long time. And this year we've got our 10-year club, which extends to, I think, 32 people.
Wow.
So I think, you know, our people are everything, and this is our family, you know, as far as I'm concerned. I've always say I've got a family I live with in my house, and they're all there still, thankfully. And then I've got a family at work, which I equally adore and love. So very, very lucky to have each other and have each other's backs.
Yeah,
And Nikki certainly is one of the inspirational and most dynamic women in real estate.
Thank you.
And has gone out and spoke, and has just done a training session together with Daniel Pierre, one of the partners in the business. So the two of them have just done a great session to help train our team, and that's what it's about, giving back. So let's talk a little bit about the market. Of course, we didn't have anything last weekend. So did you have a nice long weekend?
It was lovely.
Did you pay homage to the King because it was his birthday weekend?
Yes. But I was a bit distracted. I'm about to move house, so
okay, fair enough.
I was packing up.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, of course, you know, sorry for those Republicans.
Moving in a couple of days, actually.
Getting ready to go. Well, that's
Yes.
fun. How was the last time you moved house? Because it's been your last as well.
About 8 years ago.
Okay.
I do, I move house a lot though.
Good for business.
Yes.
Let it be a lesson to all those watching.
It's
Keep
always
moving
good
house.
to move less than every 7 years if possible.
Exactly right. And of course, you had a pretty good sale of your last home, if I
Yeah,
remember rightly.
Yeah,
We
sold
spent a bit
my
of time
house
talking
a
about
few
that.
months ago, which was amazing.
Had some good agents represent you,
We
which was
did.
good. Yeah, fair enough. So you had some
Couldn't
fun
have
with
asked
that.
for a better
Yeah,
outcome. I
well
watched
done.
my own auction.
How was it selling your own home? I mean, when
Yeah.
an agent
How
sells
was it?
when an agent sells their own home, it must be quite a unique experience
Yeah.
because, you know, usually we are separated. We're part of the emotional
Yeah.
connection of the vendor. We can't help but being drawn into it. But as professionals, we need to step aside and take control of it as well, to a great point. Now, what's it like selling your own home?
Well, I knew I was in good hands.
Thank you.
And it was a great experience, but I was a little bit of a micromanager because obviously I've got access to the data.
That's right, yeah.
So I could see what was happening live.
Yeah.
But what I thought was really incredible is just not only the two agents that were working on it, which is Limor and Jan, but the rest of the team who were constantly sending their buyers across, from all different offices and locations. And that was really, in fact, one of them was an underbidder. And I just think that those buyers wouldn't necessarily have come across naturally, organically, because it wasn't necessarily in their zone or suburb. But, just the influence of our agents of bringing people, to different locations and different homes really played its magic on the day.
Well, I was at the auction and Philip did a great job, and I was there, and you were there, of course, and Lamore was there, of course, and Jan were there, of course, and Jan and Lamore.
And many of our other team as well
their
were
other
there
team.
too.
But I want to talk a second about women in real estate, because I think it's changed. You've been in real estate for 25 years.
26.
26 years, sorry for underquoting
okay.
your time. So 26 years you've been in real estate, of which 23 years have been spent here, thankfully for us. But how's it different now for women in real estate than it was then? Because you would have been one of the flag bearers of women in real estate those years ago. And how did it end up that you actually became into this industry, this crazy industry?
Yeah, look, I was working in retail. I was working my butt off and for very little reward. And a friend of mine who works in the industry said, why would you work that hard and not get rewarded for it? So, of course, I, dipped my toes in the ocean of real estate with another company initially, and loved it, instantly loved it, and loved that I could, again, we talked about it earlier, but just to be able to be entrusted with someone's major asset is huge. It's such a big responsibility and an honour. And also be rewarded well for it as well. When I started, there weren't that many women. It was mostly men.
Yes,
and
very much a boys' club those years ago, wasn't it?
It was very much a boys' club, and we needed a bit of feminine out there, and
definitely
also put on some masculine pants as well. A bit of combination of both. But really, I think that also our natural instinct and sensitivity of, being a female. I don't know if this is politically correct or not, but I'm just speaking my truth. Certainly worked well with the buyers and the vendors in the marketplace.
I think there's an advantage in terms of the connection that you'll have to people that make decisions. I think often men, whether it's testosterone or ego, or I'm not sure what it is, but often they'll miss the signs.
Yeah.
And I think that I've found, working alongside yourself and, industry legends like, Sally Zellman and, Lamore, who's incredibly successful along your side. Arlene Joffe does a great job, already been 10 years plus with us. So some of the women in real estate that I've worked with, Lisa Albert's another one who's been with our company for, 20-something years or maybe more. Just fantastic insights, and I think it's something that a lot of men miss. I think you do have an advantage in that respect.
Yeah.
But also I think now there's so many more women making decisions. It was always kind of felt in my early years in real estate that women would make decisions in the background. The men would be sort of put forward, and the women, often the women would make a decision in the background. Now it's very much in the foreground. We will see women bidding at auctions. We'll see women versus women so often. I had a lot of fun with you in Marara Road. There was myself, and there was Lamore, and there was Chloe, and there was Jessica. So I was very, very outnumbered. I loved it, but I was very outnumbered. But we're just finding more and more women are stepping up, and I think that's true. They do have that insight. We have this now incredible bonding between our women. We just had that International Women's Day with a great,
that was beautiful.
Thank you to Tamara Gross, who watches this show, who came out and spoke to us with
Sally.
She
was amazing.
And hosted that,
Sally,
which was terrific. But, there'll be women's lunches, there'll be a lot of discussions amongst women. And I think that as an agency, I'd like to think that we've always been, we haven't been a traditional boys' club in the sense that we've always welcomed and encouraged that diversity, whatever it is, whether it's from whatever background, or whether you're male or female, it's never really mattered to us, because we always have welcomed people to just live their best life, under our roof. And it's been just amazing to see that evolution. And I think if you are dealing in property, you would probably know that to deal with our women, I can't talk about all women in real estate, you're just going to get a great and professional experience.
And there's more women at Gary Pier than there are men now. Across the company.
Absolutely, which is great to see. And I think people should always be engaged on merit, not on their background or their sexuality or whatever. And I think that's served us well. We've just got people who are here just on their own merit, but it has worked out that we have a huge team of women. So thank you for being one of the flag bearers
thank
for
you,
women in our
Gary.
industry, and
Much
also for being
appreciated.
such an inspirational person to so many of
Thank
our other
you.
women across the business. So we love that. Let's talk a little bit about
Yep.
what's going on this weekend, because we haven't got any auctions to review, having, of course, had that long weekend. So hopefully you all had a good weekend. I just want to talk a little bit about this property that I am kicking off with, Nikki, because I've been through this. We talked about it last week on GPTV as a preview. I'm heading down to Hyatt, Nikki, and I love it down there. You go down Hyatt Road with cafe after restaurant after cafe, and if you keep going, before too long you hit the beach. But I'll be stopping in Major Street Hyatt for this terrific 3-bedroom home on a lovely parcel of land with a fantastic westerly aspect in the back garden, a pretty home, a livable, rentable and improvable home. That's at 10 a.m. Let's get to 10:30, Nick, because you're going to be working at one of the auctions at 10:30 in Robinson Avenue, St Kilda. We'll jump to that and then we'll jump on back. But I know you've had the pleasure of handling this, and it's part of our 4 auction 10:30 action.
Well, it's been one of the busiest campaigns that I've worked on, actually. I think the opening weekend we had probably about 48 groups through, which is incredible.
Yes.
It's just adorable. It's an Art Deco block apartment in a block of 6. It's very boutiquey. It's got lovely period features internally, great layout, but the position is wonderful. It's a quiet little pocket between Windsor and well, it's in St Kilda, but between Windsor and Balaclava. And it's just close to every precinct and transport and everything.
It's off Wellington Street there?
It runs off Wellington Street. It's close to Chapel, walking distance to the train, everything that St Kilda has to offer, and Windsor.
And around Windsor. Nikki, that's one of our auctions at 10:30, but we have 3 others. We have a couple of real estate icons that are getting together, collaborating on the sale of this terrific apartment in Carlisle Street, St Kilda. That's Matt Morley and David Thompson, 2 names that have been synonymous with Melbourne real estate for hundreds of years. Tell us about this particular auction.
Oh, look, it's, Carlisle Street. You can't get past Carlisle Street.
The buzz,
The buzz of Carlisle Street. But it's a great 2-bedroom apartment that's got a lovely layout and a car park, and it's a great entry point. So if you're a first home buyer or investor, you can put this one away in your portfolio. $390 to $420. It's a no-brainer.
Let's kick off to our last 10:30 auction. We're going to talk about 3 at 7 Estar Road, Caulfield North. Daniel Pierre meets Simon Radolnik at this 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom, 1-car space. A great location. Looking forward to putting that one to the market in a terrific location. Nikki, we go from 10:30, we go to 11:30 to a double. A couple of auctions, but we have got at 11:30, we've started off in Robertson Avenue, but we're now going to Robinson Street per round. We featured this last week on GPTV. This is an absolutely exquisite apartment. It's like a penthouse style apartment in a Gurner development in just on the Hawkesburn Village there. Yes, right on the doorstep of Hawkesburn Village. Very excited to bring this one to the market. Huge main bedroom, beautiful sweeping views, a building with a concierge, great security. It's got 3 parking spaces, 3 bathrooms, 3 bedrooms. Huge luxurious apartment, your own wine fridge, dog washing service within the building there. An extraordinary one. Get to that auction 11:30 Saturday if it hasn't got sold before. Nikki, we're going to be in Wellington Street, St Kilda, back in your hood. Good looking home, this one.
So actually Robertson runs off Wellington Street.
There you go. Yeah, I drove through there the other day. I saw a couple of our boards. Yep.
Oh, look, I mean, this is just such a pretty double-fronted Victorian. It's gorgeous. And again, another incredible price range at 115 to 1.25 million. So, if you're looking to enter the house market, this will be probably the best entry point for something that's of that size and frontage in a great location.
Nikki, I'm meeting you at 1:30. We're going to be in Blenheim Avenue, or Blenheim Street, I should say, in Balaclava, just off Carlisle Street. I know we've both enjoyed working on this property. I'm looking forward to auctioning it and seeing you and Jess there. Tell us a bit about it.
Well, I've loved working on this apartment. It's actually quite stunning. The block is actually probably one of the most beautifully maintained blocks that I've worked on, because quite often with these, newer buildings, once they're built, they let them go.
They can,
so the minute you walk in, you get that experience of just being in something very luxe and luxurious. And the apartment, even though it's on the corner of Blenheim and Carlisle Street, it's tucked away on
Set
the
right at
north
the back.
side,
Yeah.
very privately, and it's got the most incredible layout. Big open plan kitchen, living and dining with a north terrace that just wraps right around the side.
Yeah, sun drenched.
Good
Yep.
sized bedrooms. The master's like, the master is like a boudoir. It's got a walk-in robe, beautiful ensuite. It's got stone bench tops, timber floors throughout. Every mod con that you could ask for, storage, double car park. It really would suit a downsizer or young family or professional couple. And I think that this one is probably one of the best apartments being offered in the market.
I'd have to agree with that. Nikki, we're going to move on because we've got many to get through and
Yep.
not so little time, but we are
No,
going to be in
we'll
Rockley Road, South Yarra. I know Sally Zellman has been handling this, and that is a high quality address, 3-bed, 2-bath, in that low ones, sort of similar range to Blenheim Street. Jeremy Rose is the auctioneer for this fantastic apartment, and we're looking forward to bring it to the market. Let's move on to Lonsdale Street, another 130 auction. Philip Kingston, auctioneer, Darren Crongold's handling it, and another terrific looking property. Tell us about it quickly, please.
Yeah, well, this is house-sized living and a good price entry point once again at 1.6 to 1.76 million. If you're looking to get into the house market but can't quite get there,
Yep.
then this is a great alternative.
If you haven't got $2 million plus, this is the
Yeah.
sort of property you should be buying. Again, a wonderful location. We're going to go back to Elwood, where I know you're very active. Avoca Avenue is a little known street, but it's
Yeah.
got some beautiful apartments in that
Yeah.
street, including this one, which Viv and Leo Samuel have been handling. Tell us a bit about it.
Yeah, no, look, again, you just can't go past these solid 60s, 70s apartments. The layout is fantastic.
Yeah, good floor plan.
It's got a really good floor plan. It's got, it could be 3 bedrooms or 2 with separate lounge dining. Proper entrance, kitchen meals area. They just don't make them like this now.
That's for sure. We're moving on to St Kilda. I don't know if there's a better place in the world in which to live than Marine Parade, St Kilda. This is a fantastic town residence. It's got a terrific floor plan. It has been amended the price, and I think it represents great value now in that very low ones. Daniel Peer has enjoyed handling this, and the vendors have enjoyed living here, but they're going to be letting it go on Saturday at 2:30 p.m. We're moving on to East Brighton, to Sunnyside Avenue.
Yeah.
Now, as an East Brighton resident, you know the benefits of the area. Tell us a bit about this incredible looking home.
Sure. Well, I walk past this house most days of the week because it's just a few doors down from Lancox Park, which is my little retreat
hood,
that I like to go to. Again, this is just a family-sized house at a very good entry point, and you've got all the beautiful mod cons around you, and you've got the lake. You're close to East Brighton Village, which is a very boutique village with restaurants and cafes, and close to transport, and it's also in the Garden Vale School Zone. So for families looking to get into a house in the zone, this is for you.
Nikki, that is 10 suburbs, but we do have already on Saturday, but we've got 27 auctions on total, so busy weekend.
Wow.
We're going to kick off Sunday morning on Medi Vanessa McGlynn or on Crescent, a great address. Tell us a little about this one.
Just this adorable open plan, fully renovated courtyard apartment. Exactly what you'd want.
Or on Crescent, great buying, 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom. Let's move to Royal Parade. Arlene Joffe has got me doing the auction there at 11:30, and I can't wait. Tell us a bit about that one, Nick.
Again, another beautiful apartment with open plan living, great layout, great one to get into.
11:30, we have triple auction action, and we've also got Jeremy Rosen's auctioning in Hawthorne Road for Darren Crongold, 5 at 305 Hawthorne Road. Looks like a terrific villa, and they have been popular lately.
They have been popular. They're like little houses. Very good to get one of those.
3-bed, 1-bath, 1 parking. Let's go to Elmer Road. Nikki, Leon is handling this one. Philip's auctioning it.
Yeah, a beautiful oversized apartment with a beautiful terrace.
This is a really affordable apartment in Inkerman Road. I think this is a small boutique block I think there might only be 8 here, but I've got to say this one is on the ground floor. It comes to the market beautifully presented. It's 2 bedroom, 1 bathroom, 1 parking space, and in and around that high fours to 500. I know you've been busy handling this one. Quite excited about this auction on Sunday.
It is. It's, you know, one of the best entry points you can find for a 2-bedroom apartment.
I look forward to seeing you there. I'll be there with Nikki. Well, Rockbrook Road is a lovely little cul-de-sac just off Hotham Street. 4 at 11 is where I'm going to be meeting young Daniel Peer. Tell us about this one, Nick.
Yeah, great 60s/70s style apartment, nice and solid. Again, a beautiful layout with separate lounge dining.
At 1:30 we're going to be in Acacia Street, Elstwick. This is a fantastic address. It runs right through to Ripponlea, if I'm not mistaken, and we've sold in this street many times. Terrific looking home, 2-bedroom, 1 bathroom, 1 parking space. Phillips is auctioning that at 1:30. Nikki, at 2:30 we're going to be in Orong Road, 4 at 152 to 154 Orong Road. Darren Crongold handles his 4-bedroom, 2 bathroom, 2 parking space property. It is in a great location. It's a great looking property. Tell us a bit about this home at 3:30. I will be meeting young Daniel Peer here in Hawthorne Road, 512 Hawthorne Road at 3:30 p.m. Tell us about that one, Nick.
Yeah, look, this is just an adorable period style home with really great accommodation, and you know it's a fantastic entry point. You know, at 145 to 155, considering we're selling 2-bedroom semis for that price.
Terrific looking home. Aline Joffe and Daniel Peer handling that one. We're going to Hudson Street at 3:30 as we approach the end of our busy Sunday. Phillips auctioning this property. Tell us a bit about it. It's meeting Daniel Fisher and Darren Crongold there.
Yeah.
Hudson Street.
Hudson Street is a wonderful position just
Sure is.
around the corner from Caulfield Park. And I think that, you know, anyone who can get into this address for such a good sized family home would be worth its weight in gold.
It's been a popular street, hasn't it? We've sold 3 or 4 properties really recently there. But this is something that really is quite a rare offering, and I think it's the first time it's been offered in many years.
Yeah,
Nikki,
very tightly held.
It is, that street. We bring down the curtain at 4:30, 1 at 450 Hawthorne Road, Caulfield South. Wrap us this property, Nikki, and then we're out of here.
Well, this one's a stunner.
It is.
Even though it is on Hawthorne Road, it's quite set back from the street with a beautifully landscaped garden at the front, and you know the most incredible finishes inside. And again, just a beautiful family-size residence with a double garage, and you know everything's at your doorstep.
On a nice allotment of land too.
And Princess Park.
And Mook's Cafe, very close by. Don't we love Mook's Cafe to get that fantastic Mediterranean salad? That is a favourite. Nikki, it's great to have you on GPTV. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Thank you for having me,
And thank you for everything
Gary.
you've done for our company and for our clients
Pleasure.
and for our team. We appreciate it. And we look forward to bringing you all the news on GPTV. We'll be back next week. I think, unfortunately, standing over there will be Philip Kingston and not you. But, you know,
I'll be back.
Maybe we can
I'll be
change it. I
back.
don't know. We look forward to having you back. I'm Gary Peer.
And I'm Nikki Genova.
See you next time.
Thank you. Bye.